the story is pretty. I mean, it's pretty telling, that this guy, this 25-year-old or whatever, like literally treated I am a racist. I mean, in addition to a bunch of other heinous stuff, but it's not like woke cancel culture scolds were like looking at his tweets and being like, ooh, that's a little offensive. No, he's like, I am a racist. And it wasn't also like when he was 16, it was like last fall or last winter even. It was like 3 months ago that he was tweeting, I am a racist.
I think it was, I was a racist before racism was cool or something like that. So
So not only am I racist, but racism is cool.
He was and is a racist, I think we could say.
Yeah, I was and I am a racist, and I think it's cool to be a racist. So he gets fired. Unclear who he gets fired by, because the president, the shadow president, and the vice president all were on the side of keeping him. So I don't know who fired him. It's kind of this is where you need our old colleague Mark Caputo to kind of wade through the morass and be like, who did the firing here? Like, who's in charge? But they acted like it was like the media that fired him. Right. And it's like, no, you're in charge. You didn't have to fire him in the first place if you didn't want to. But anyway, so they go rehire him on the backs of the president, vice president, and shadow president's advocacy that people should not be judged for, the mistakes of 3 weeks ago. And he should be allowed to stay. So it's interesting. I mean, as you say, like, it's most telling just in like, that they have inserted thinking about all of this, right, like into the top levels of our government and into our society, right? I mean, like, it was like people on random message boards, and in basements, places that like were obsessed with, cranium size and physiognomy and melanin levels, and Elon has inserted that right into the center of our politics, which seems like it'll probably have some negative downstream consequences.
That's a good thing. I'll go out on a limb and say that. And also, I hadn't really thought about your point about, well, who did fire him? I suppose maybe Susie Wiles, or who we both knew back in the day, I guess. Is the nominal chief of staff, not to be offensive, but I mean, I think it's fair to say nominal chief of staff at the White House fired, thought it was a bad idea to have that guy, prominently on staff there for DOGE, and her dicta lasted about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah. Well, they're mad at the media, but they should probably be mad at the person that works for them that fired him in the first place. So maybe we can find that out. Maybe we can smoke that out and figure out who was the responsible person inside the White House, so they can make sure to hold that person accountable for their cancel culture.